Today we're going to doodle and we're going to look at the freeze response. So the freeze response occurs when the body is in parasympathetic arousal and we're unable to move away from a threat, as in flight, and we're not able to move towards a threat, as in fight. And so the body shuts down and we feel like we're stuck in place. This is where dissociation happens. Let's go the overhead and draw out our frozen part of ourself. So for this exercise, I'm using my watercolor paper. It's just some paper that I bought in bulk on Amazon. I think it's 9 by 12. It might just be 8.5 by 11. And my Pigma Sensei marker. This is a 0.6. I love these markers. They show up very well, and they're great for coloring and watercoloring because the watercolor tends to stay within if I want it to, but it doesn't have to if I don't want it to, so it works out well. So we're drawing our freeze response. So this is the freeze response, and I'm first going to draw our little person. I think for this one, it feels like they need to be sitting down. So I'm going to draw them a little bit different. Well, maybe I'm not. So the head and then the body, and then it's like just in like a shut down kind of position. Hands right there. And then also with the legs, just in kind of a shutdown position. So when we see this person, we might see, some worry here, like a sense of dread. Maybe feeling like just really like stiff, heavy. Kind of maybe just cold. They might appear cold. And numb. So I'm kind of getting the feeling like I need to demonstrate the numb. I'm going to actually draw kind of a sideways heart. Like just kind of, I don't know, like not truly connected. But the sideways heart here, although the exterior might show like very disconnected, the sideways heart they might be hearing it loud. So there might be beating inside. They might be hearing it, but might not be demonstrated on the outside. It might sound loud to them with their ears, but yet they could also have a decreased heart rate. Sometimes in freeze response, it's often that a person will feel like they are so shut down that they feel like their heart is about to stop. They feel like that they could fall asleep, that they just kind of are losing themselves. They're unable to stay connected. So let me write that, losing themselves. So for this one here, I'm feeling a little bit of sense of colors. Some color is needed. And it's interesting because I feel like it needs to be like almost like a bluish gray in here for this one right now. Kind of almost just surrounding that heart, right? And for this one, because she is so shut down, I'm gonna give her some hair. So as I doodle and as I color, I get the sense of what is needed, and it is with freeze, it can be very difficult to feel into what's needed. I do feel like that there's some color in the heart, but I can't quite figure out what it is. I'm just gonna go like with this one. This is like a purplish, but I think I've got some of that brown in there that kind of might. So I'm gonna add that in there. And then there's also like, I don't know, I just want to kind of add a little bit of color into the face to help like show the worry. If you relate to the freeze response, you feel yourself dissociating, then the grounding things that we can do for freeze, the physical ones, are to align with the senses. So it's like, you know, what do you smell? I always like to have essential oils by me, essential oils. Or a candle, even like a lavender pack. So if you find yourself slipping away, just find something to smell. And then also it's like, what do you see? What do you see in your environment that's yours and that's safe? What do you see? You know, do you see a friend? Do you see a friend? You know, like, do you see a blanket? Stuffed animal? What colors are in your safe space? What's in your, even if your environment doesn't feel safe, what's one thing that you have? Like sometimes when we don't feel safe in our environment, we find one thing that is ours that's safe. It might be a pencil, it might be the color red that you see in a picture on the wall. Our bodies and our minds are so amazing that they can help us by finding that one thing. So noticing what that is as you feel yourself slipping back. So smell, see, and then also taste. Like go grab a snack or tea or something that, like even a sip of water or a sip of soda or something like that, that will help to remind you of your non-detached self. Help you get back. Physical, also go in nature. Go in nature. And then if you notice in your mind that you are slipping and you're not really thinking of things, sometimes when we're in this state, we might be shut down, but our mind is is very active. If you notice that your mind is quiet too, start reciting like a favorite poem or a favorite song lyric, even if it's one sentence of a song lyric. Doesn't matter what it attaches to, just so long as it can help to bring you back to you. So what we're learning is to stay with ourselves in this type of doodling, but also just in noticing that what takes us away and what can help us to stay with ourselves. I invite you over and over to come back to this exercise, this practicing drawing out your freeze response if you're in it, what it looks like. It may look like a whole lot more than this, and that's wonderful. It might have something around it. It might have an ice cube around it to help demonstrate that. It could be different each time, but helping to express our state outside helps us to get back to ourselves. I look forward to seeing you the next time we doodle to connect.